All right, everyone. Welcome back to part 2 of the series, Narcissist Divorce versus a Healthy Partner Divorce.
Yeah.
And again, we've turned this into a 3-part series because there is so much to talk about in a narcissist divorce. And, you know, narcissism is a thing. Okay, so now this segment is called The Truth.
The truth.
If that don't sound like a segment with tea, we're going to have all kind of tea in this segment. Okay, so we're going to take a deeper dive into the tactics narcissists use during the divorce process, all right? So, Janine, what you got, girl?
Well, I would like to know.
Okay.
What shocked you the most while going through your divorce with your ex? And it could be something that he did, it could be the core, it could be anything. So what was the most shocking thing for you?
I'm going to be honest, after being with him for 7 years, I was not shocked by anything. But I will say there was one. Okay. There was one because I know how much he loves his daughter. And it's his only child. And I mean, that was one thing that I got right. I was about to say me, girl. I'm not giving that to you. Oh, that was one thing I definitely got right. But I knew he loved his daughter. I was very shocked by how he used her. He definitely used our daughter to control the narrative, and he used her to manipulate and control me.
Yeah.
So he would definitely do things. Going back to part 1, he would do things that was inappropriate where I would have to keep her from him, just to protect her own mental. And then that was used against me in court, which is how I got a contempt.
So you know what? Narcissists, they always are in relationships with people who are empaths, right?
Oh, yes!
And so because you're an empath, they also know that you love the mess out of your children.
And them.
But once they can't get to you in that way anymore, they're going to use the kids. They will, because they know how much you love them kids. Yeah. They know how much you want the best for them. Yeah. And so that's an easy way to
You're an easy target. You're an easy target. And they always come in talking about their exes.
Yeah.
They always come in talking about what their exes did to them, how they're so sad and woe is me. And
how they hope you don't do that.
Yes.
It's so great you don't do that.
Yeah.
They're setting you up.
They're definitely setting you up. There was a video that she passed to me on, I think it was TikTok, and it was this woman who was talking about, they always talk about their exes because they don't want you to be on that same level. And now I have to protect you. Now I have to heal you. Oh my God, I love you so much. How did your ex do that to you? I mean, my ex's ex was dang near a crackhead. Like she's a cokehead, she's a bad mother, all these things. So anyway, all right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they use the kids all the time. That's very
so
common.
It is very sad. Yeah. But just know this, narcissists who are watching, just know when those kids get older, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of that.
But they probably don't care that much.
They don't. They probably didn't have more kids by then with somebody. Okay, so from a legal standpoint, does it even matter if someone is a narcissist and you're going through a divorce?
Absolutely. I mean, it really is a completely different divorce. It is so different. In fact, it is my personal opinion that if you have 2 healthy people going through a divorce, it doesn't get to a final.
Good point. Because mediation,
I mean, they care about each other, right? They care about their kids if they have any kids together. They're like, okay, how can we figure this out? Yeah. We want to maintain a good relationship post-divorce.
Right, and they're thinking about the kids.
Yeah, so they're not trying to piss you off. Yeah. They're not trying to win one up on you. They're trying to be fair. Both parties are trying to be fair.
Yeah.
And so usually those cases end in settlement. Okay. I'm always wary when cases go all the way to the final. It means that one of these parties probably got some problems.
Yeah, because with the narcissists, they're not normal.
No. And they're not trying to settle unless you're giving up.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Wait, what's your question? You got a question?
Okay. This is another common thing that narcissists do, so I want to see if it happened in your situation. Okay. Did you notice any sneaky behavior from him during your divorce?
Absolutely. Okay. He did a lot of sneakiness with his finances.
That's common.
And that was because he wanted, your girl's a little situated. So he wanted some things from me, right? Financially, but he never came to the conversation with what he was giving financially. Even though he used his marital assets in whatever way that he wanted to, right? And I noticed that with a lot of his statements. So prior pre-mediation, he would only send certain statements. I think we only got like 2 statements from him, right? And they were like from years prior. It wasn't even something that was up to date. And then after mediation, miraculously, we got like all these other attachments of statements. And I noticed like he would have a credit card monthly payment, like the minimum would be like $150. He's putting $7,000 to $1,000 down, like on the credit cards. So what he used was, I don't have any assets. I don't have any savings. All of my money is going to my debt, which he could prove. Yes, it's going to his credit card statement. But, sir, you're paying triple, quadruple over what the minimum payments are. So some of that money where you could be saving and you could be bringing it to the divorce, you're using it and just dumping it on your credit card. So that's how my ex was sneaky.
So did he try to come after your savings?
He did. Oh, okay. He came after equity in a home that I built, paid for. He came after my savings. He came after my daughter's savings.
That is trifling. Not the kid's savings.
Allegedly. Moving on. Okay, so wait, what about yours? What was the sneaky stuff that your ex?
Mine's the whole documenting. He didn't submit any documents. You know. Yeah. He moved during the divorce, so he was staying with his parents when we were going through the divorce, and then at some point he went and rented this 4-bedroom house because in his mind he was going to get custody of the kids and take them out of state to California.
But you ain't had no money.
Right. So he did that sneakily, right? Okay. Because he thought he was building his case. So he
bought a house in another state.
Yeah. He rented the house and he got it all together. And as far as he knew, I don't know that he has a house, and I think he lives with his parents, and I think it's going to be easy. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to get custody, right? Yeah. I have the home, he doesn't. Yeah. He did that in preparation of the final hearing. So right before the final hearing, he goes and gets this house so he can come to the final hearing and say, actually, I have a 4-bedroom house for the kids, and I have this, and I have chickens in the backyard, and I have all this.
How did that work out for you?
I mean,
it didn't.
It didn't. But he did that. He not turning in any evidence. You did not submit any evidence of anything, not even proof of the house.
So that's not an admission, or it's not an admission, and it's not omitting, right? Well, I guess it's omitting because omitting. You're not.
He didn't submit anything, any income documentation, any banking statements. He brought nothing, just him telling the court what they should believe, and he really thought that he was going to take the kids out of state to live in this 4-bedroom house that he got, based on him just wooing the judge.
And we talk about how ghetto we were. They were ghetto too. They were so ghetto. Like, okay, so why? That's a perfect a setup for this question. Okay. Why do narcissists drag divorce proceedings out? Like, why do they drag the entire divorce process out? Forget just the divorce proceedings. Like, my mediation was canceled 3 times, right? Yeah. Like, mine should not have taken that long. Even when he wanted to negotiate what I was going back and saying, like, these different assets that he wanted. And I'm like, you didn't turn any of your statements over. None of your bank statements, your 401k, any of that. But yet you want to come on to this call with the mediator demanding that you get a portion of marital assets that I had accrued. Yeah. Like, that's crazy. This person never even came to the conversation with what he was giving. Like, hey, I'll give her 15% of my 401k. It was like, I want this from you. I want this. I want this. I want this. So anyway, why does it tend to drag out so long?
Well, one of the reasons I think is that they secretly don't want to be divorced. Here's the thing. A divorce for a narcissist is a loss.
It is.
Right?
It is.
You lost your marriage.
Yeah.
It's a failure.
Yeah.
So I think one of the reasons why they drag it out is because they don't want the divorce. Whether or not they're the one who caused it, whether or not they're the one who filed.
And it's a stain on their image.
Yeah,
narcissists are all about how they were packaged.
Yeah. Yeah. So they don't want a divorce. So in them dragging it out, maybe they'll wear you down. Yeah. Maybe you might cancel the whole thing. And if they do get divorced, then you're so worn down that you're going to settle and just give them whatever they're asking for.
Which is still a win
so you can on, which is a win. Yeah. If they can't win in getting you back, they're going to win through the divorce.
The sad part is it's like if you would have just behaved in a normal way, like you could have kept your family. Yeah. And y'all narcissists, because I know y'all watching. I know y'all watching. Talking to you directly. Stop going for the women who you know have backbones. Stop going for the women. Now, wait a minute, because on the flip side of this, we teaching even the weaker women how to stand up throughout this process.
Listen, you have to.
So, because it will crumble you. It will crumble you if you give it the opportunity to do so. So, what's your question, ma'am?
Well, okay, so you just talked about how they drag it on.
Yes.
So, piggybacking off of that, how long was your divorce process? And what caused it to be, that long, if it was long, or whatever the length may have been?
I'm going to sum this up as much as I can. Okay. Mine was... There was a lot of like deception and withholding, right? Playing a game with the court system, right? The same game that he tried to play with me, it was playing the game with the court system and with my attorney. So we would do interrogatories where you have to answer questions, right? Mine wouldn't meet the deadline, right? Then my attorney would have to send constant emails of like, hey, you have a deadline. Your client needs to fill these out. Then he would fill it out and he would have yes or no answers. When my attorney is asking, like, you have to give, some info, you got to give details.
Like, please state such and such and such and such.
And now he's running my tab up with my attorney the entire time. So my attorney actually went back through and said, you need to respond with XYZ. You need to give XYZ. So that took time with the interrogatories. And then discovery took time because he didn't want to produce any documents. Then mediation. It was like every stage within the divorce process, he extended. Yeah. He kept extended over and over and over.
How long did it take?
A year and a half. Is that normal legally? Like from a legal standpoint, like when you've divorced?
They're getting to be about that.
That's crazy.
No, it'll be a lot shorter if you have two reasonable people. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But those ones, they're about that length. I've seen this one couple had been in court for like the last 5 years. At this point, I'm just like, why are we still fighting?
Because somebody doesn't want to give up.
Right.
Somebody doesn't want to. But was the partner was either one of the partners? Because there are women narcissists as well.
Allegedly.
My ex called allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah. My ex actually called me a narcissist. After I realized that he was the narcissist, he was like, I'm not a narcissist. You're a narcissist. And I was like, whew. But of course, then I wanted to go low. Like, because listen, let me tell you, my ex would take it low and I'd go to hell. Like, but we're not there anymore. That was the first filing. So yeah. Okay. So what about yours? How long did yours take?
Mine, I think it was about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a year and a half.
Is that the sweet spot?
Too.
For some.
It was COVID.
Okay.
So I think a little bit of it was that. Okay. And post-COVID, judges are still very slow. Courts are very slow.
Okay.
But mine also had the whole discovery not being turned in on time. So then we ask again and we wait another month and then we don't get it. And then we file a motion to, compel. And at some point we just gave up like, okay, we're not going to get any documents from this dude. We can't keep on wasting my money trying to pursue this.
Because it's always the other person that's incurring like the cost for their narcissism.
My attorney is having to contact, him and his attorney like over and over to be like, hey, can we get some documents so we can prepare for trial? Yeah. At some point it was just like, let's just go to trial, because if we were waiting for documents from this man, we'll probably still be waiting.
And that's another tactic though. They're going to run up your bill. That's another way of wearing you down, right? Okay, so do you feel like, just from because we're not psychologists, we're just talking about our experiences and what we have researched throughout our process in divorcing a narcissist, right? That allegedly. Do you feel like narcissists, even with your clients, do you feel like narcissists treat divorce like a game that they have to win?
Absolutely.
Really?
It is a game for them. Everything's a game for them. They want to win. I don't understand their mindset, so exactly. I can't even make sense of it, because
they seem like people who were very unpopular. Like, I wanted to be,
even though I'm an attorney and I actually like court, right? I go to court by choice. Yeah. I wanted this process to be over so fast. Like, can we just be done so we can move on to co-parenting and raising our kids and living our lives?
Is it exhausting for you as an attorney?
Yeah. It was exhausting. Yeah. the first time and the second time, even when I had an attorney, and I know my attorney was flabbergasted because she wasn't used to dealing with somebody so crazy herself. So it was just like, when is this going to end? I just wanted the date on the paperwork, just so I could be like, okay, this chapter of my life is done.
And it feels so good. Right. It's such a relief.
And I'm like, sir, if you want this to be over, why don't you just go ahead and like work with us? So I don't think he wanted it to be over.
That was just what he was saying. He just wanted to say
they can stay in that race and maintain because I don't know, they're not getting worn down like we are. Probably because they're not dealing with it emotionally. Right. Like, we're emotional, so we're the ones who's like taking in all of that.
Right. We are. Yeah. And taking care of the kids at the same time.
Right. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was long.
That's sad. Mm-hmm. Okay, what you got for me?
Well, this ties in to everything that we just spoke about. What was your mental health like during your divorce process?
Whew. I would have to say the first, and I'm just going to just slightly tap on that. The first, I was a basket case. Okay. Because he had manipulated and gaslit me so much to where I actually thought that, like, it was me that was the problem. Yeah. And then it was just like, okay, well, if it's me, then I need to just get out of this. I got to get out of this. I can't do this anymore. Then maybe I'm the problem and I don't know how to be in a marriage because he was already married previously. Even though he lied about who filed, she actually filed. Like, he lied about that. But are you surprised?
I mean, I'm not. But that's such a weird thing to lie about.
I then saw an email that he was begging her back. But he was dating me. That was after I married him. So there you do. But that's an example of like you find out exactly who these people are. So the second time, I was so about business. Like I said, I have to look at this as how I look at business. As a business coach and a marketing consultant, I had to look at this divorce as a business. Yeah. So my mindset was different. So nothing he would do could, manipulate me. Nothing, because I already knew who I was dealing with. And then now I had a alleged diagnosis. Now that I had that, and there was so much research and all the things that he was trying to pull, I knew, like, okay, this is a tactic. Yeah, this is what you're using. You can't fool me.
This
you
is
can't
manipulation.
Do this.
This is gaslighting.
Yeah. Okay, what about yours? Like, what was your mental?
I mean, I would say about same the first time basket case.
I mean, they really turn you into this person.
Yeah. But by the second time, I was at peace. Yeah. I had processed through it. I had gone to therapy and all the things. Yep. And so I was in such a good place. Mind you, I just had a baby. Oh. Like, our baby was 1 month old when this whole thing started going on. So, but I was at peace, though. And I knew what I was dealing with.
Yeah, exactly. My confirmation that everything was going to be all right. I mean, I don't know if you guys are faith believers, but we believe in God, right? We believe in the Most High. And the best sleep that I got throughout my essentially 2 years, because when I filed is not around the time I had then gotten into an accident. So there was, like 6 months in between where nothing was going on. The best sleep I had and the most peaceful rest I had was the night before my final court hearing. I slept so good. Nice. I woke up and my mother went to court with me and I felt amazing. I felt like I know that this is going to go good. Yeah. And even if it doesn't, I'm still at peace. Yeah. And it's about to be over with. Yeah, I was so ready. Like, and that was it was 4 hours. And I cried a lot on the stand because I had to talk about a 7-year period where I was in a marriage with someone who wasn't. Yeah. When you have to relive everything and all of the bad times, and I mean there were good times. There were more bad times than good times. But when you are looking at it at one time in the matter of 4 hours and you realize I was not in a marriage. Yeah.
It was a one-sided
It was a one-sided marriage. So, and at this point, like, I'm okay with that and having that understanding. So, You have anything else?
I have nothing else. We can go ahead and wrap this up.
All right, let's go. So, ladies, as you can see, the truth is this process can be exhausting and absolutely overwhelming.
Yeah, it really can, right? Yeah. It really can.
Yeah.
But that's why you prepare yourself. That's why you educate yourself, because it will help you get through it so much smoother.
That is true. Mm-hmm. That is true. With some form of sanity. So now this is part 2. Mm-hmm. In part 3, we're going to be debunking some common misconceptions about divorcing a narcissist.
This is Her Terms Next. We'll see you guys in part 3.
We'll be back.